Professor Holick of Boston University, he's a professor of medicine over there. His views on vitamin D are very, very cherishable because he's been working on the subject of vitamin D for over 50 years. So when he says something as far as vitamin D is concerned, I pay attention. Now, he tells me that there's something I've been doing around the summer months regarding vitamin D use that is dead wrong. So, what is it that I've been doing wrong? And more importantly, what does he do himself? Let's have a listen.
And I'm always asked this question, which is during the summertime, should I stop taking my supplement? And I tell my patients no, and I don't either. And so even though I get sensible sunlight, I will definitely continue. I take 6,000 units of vitamin D every day. And my blood level is in a range of 70 to 80 nanograms per ml.
So the next reasonable question will be, why does Professor Holick take his vitamin D supplements during the summer months and also advise his patients to do the same thing, just like I will advise you to do the same thing right here? Why is that necessary, despite the fact that we've got plenty of sun around us during the summer months? Why is it necessary?
In my opinion, it's just unrealistic, unless you're a hunter-gatherer or you're a lifeguard, to think you're going to make enough vitamin D from sun exposure, because you're not going to be outside in your bikini or in a male bathing suit 7 days a week, right? It makes, to me, no sense.
So
right?
You're not a farmer, you're not a horticulturist, you're not a construction worker, and you're not a lifeguard. And I also happen to know for definite that you are not a hunter-gatherer. What that means is, for the vast majority of us in the population, we're not exposing our skin to the sun frequently enough between spring into summer for us to make adequate amount of vitamin D. So, just to put things into perspective, how much vitamin D do you think, as a population, on average, we make between the beginning of spring to the end of summer? Let's have a listen to what Professor Holick has to say about this.
Right. We had done a study and asked the question, how much vitamin D are you really producing for the population at large? So we looked at with Dr. Kroll from Quest Diagnostics at 2.3 million 25-hydroxy-vitamin D levels in the United States. And we showed that the nadir, of course, is at the end of the winter, around March. The peak is at the end of the summer, which is around August and September. The difference was 9 nanograms per ml. 9 nanograms per ml is equivalent to ingesting about maybe 600, maximum 1,000 units of vitamin D a day. And we also did another study and showed that if you give a healthy adult, vitamin D deficient, 1,000 units of vitamin D a day in the wintertime, they will not become vitamin D sufficient, right? And so should you measure it? There's a lot of debate about that. The Endocrine Society says that if you're following the guidelines, taking adequate amount of vitamin D from supplementation, right, you should not have to measure it. It's expensive. Many labs don't do a very good job of it. And so as a result, we usually don't recommend screening. And we even did another study and we asked a simple question, because the way to treat vitamin D deficiency in the United States, which I kind of helped introduce back in the 1990s, is to give 50,000 units of vitamin D once a week for 8 weeks. And then we follow them up with 50,000 units every 2 weeks forever. And so we asked the question, what if we just do that routinely for all of my patients coming in, and then measure their blood level at the beginning, but not know it, and then measure it at the end? And so we did that. And we showed that even those patients that did come in sufficient with a 25-hydroxy-D of 50 nanograms per ml, on 50,000 units of vitamin D every 2 weeks, equivalent of 3,300 units a day, raise your blood level to 80 nanograms per ml.
So what is clear is that from the end of March to the beginning of September, we are increasing our vitamin D by an average of 9 nanogram per mil, which was surprising to me because I thought we were doing better than that. Now, what is clear from that is we really still need to supplement during the summer months, because throughout spring and summer, we are just increasing our vitamin D by 9 nanogram per mil. So, going forward, I'm going to be taking my vitamin D supplements during the summer months, and I want you to do the same. That's the lesson from this very video. Professor Holick has actually revealed all of that to us in this very video. And I'm hoping that you got some value from this very video. If you were like me, omitting your vitamin D supplements during the summer months, do let me know in the comment section. Say, yes, I was like you. Or if you are someone who's been taking your vitamin D throughout the year, say no, I've been taking my vitamin D supplements throughout the year. Say no in the comment section. So hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. And please share this video with your friends, family, and colleagues. Any questions, any comments, leave them down below. That's it for this video. Until next time, well, this is Dr. Joe signing out.